going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Half Court Podcast. Been a little bit. Things have changed since the last podcast, just a little bit. Mike, how you doing?
Good, how are you? Good, how are you?
Good. All right. So, as you guys know, I don't think since the last time we did a podcast, there's been any sort of games or anything like that. So, obviously, the big story today is going to be talking about the Rona.
Yeah.
As you know, it's kind of taken over not only the sports world, but the world in general. So, that's, I think, what we're mainly going to be talking about today. But we're going to be talking about a few other things similar related to it. We're going to talk about how we think the season is going to resume if and when it does resume. We're going to be talking about NBA League Pass being free for people right now, and then talking about the NBA Together live games. And then finally, the only non-Rona related news we're going to be talking about is if sadly, if the season doesn't continue, we're going to be talking about who we think our end of the year awards are and that sort of thing. So getting right into it. What the hell is happening?
It all started with it being a flu-based type thing, and then it kind of just exploded to deaths, and Italy suddenly shutting down their whole country.
Right? Like,
and,
so for like me, a little bit of a backstory. It's like I did not. I mean, obviously, like, I knew it was like a big deal, like whatever. Obviously, like the news and stuff wouldn't have been all over it if it wasn't. But literally, the NBA canceling was like the thing that set over the edge for me. I was like, oh, this thing's real. Like it's happening now. Like it's right? Because I don't think that NBA is ever closed because of anything like this in their entire history. So.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like a thing where it was like, whoa, wait, one thing just canceled, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and just suddenly sports was just done.
It was just like a domino effect, yeah.
I mean, we can all watch past games now, but like other than that, there's just not a whole lot we can do right now.
Exactly. Well, and like the one, I mean, I kind of knew that if any player in any sports, like major sports, like tested positive, things are going to get shut down. But like, I was kind of excited about the idea of like having games in empty arenas.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been weird, but like I was kind of like hyped about the idea.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be cool, yeah.
Yeah, not so much for the playoffs, because I think the playoffs kind of need that fan atmosphere. But like, I thought it was going to be kind of dope. So like, it's a shame that things had to be shut down right away, but like I do understand why it needed to happen.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like a thing where it's like you could take so many opportunities with an empty arena. Like you could mic up the players if you wanted to. You could do so many different things with an empty arena that I think couldn't be done before. And I think that kind of takes away the home court or home ice advantage. And I think that was just a super cool thing. But at the same time, it's just kind of like Rudy Gobert's an idiot and he got sick, and then everybody else got shut down.
Did you see? We'll talk about this a little bit more kind of later on in the podcast. But did you see Adam Silver did an interview with First Take, I think it was, or like one of like the ESPN shows, and he was saying like he's hoping like once the NBA comes back, if it does, obviously there's not going to be fans or anything, but he was hoping to implement something where like fans over like through like their computers and stuff, if they're like cheering, they're gonna like broadcast all of that like over the like speakers in the arena. Like you still get like the kind of in court like kind of experience sort of thing, which I don't know how they'd implement that, because I feel like people would just say a lot of stupid stuff over there behind the comfort of their computers. But I think if they can figure out how to make it work, then more power to them. I think that'd be super awesome.
Yeah, just Steph Curry hits a three. Yeah, let's go. He splashed it, baby. Let's get it.
This is like a 13-year-old with like their like Turtle Beach headphones or something.
Let's get it, baby.
But no, so what have you been doing to keep busy during the I'm gonna call it a lockout, because it sort of is a lockout, just like a not like lockout that the players wanted to have.
Yeah, no, I've been playing a lot of sports video games. I've been just trying to play like NHL 20 and NBA 2K and FIFA 19 for some reason. I've been getting into it a little bit more.
Yeah, no, dude, FIFA. I literally, as we're talking right now, I was talking with you about this earlier. I'm literally right now behind my laptop. I have like my desktop computer, and I'm literally watching like the demo mode of NBA 2K20. I'm just like CPU playing the CPU, because it's like the closest thing I got right now to live sports, and low key, kind of fun to watch, honestly. Dallas is kind of taking over the game.
Well,
but,
yeah, if you got Luka Doncic on your team, man. And I heard you talking about Chris Paul earlier, therefore it's part of the Thunder, eh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Currently
no,
15 Dallas, 8 Thunder with 3 minutes left in the third.
yeah, no, it's definitely been weird with school too, because like obviously we're both college and university students, and everything
Yeah.
just shut down there too. So it's like been
Yeah, I
interesting.
mean, like I said, like usually, I mean, obviously we talk about mainly focus on basketball with this, um, podcast. But like this thing, well, it has affected the sports world. It's just affected everybody. Like um, I came home to Calgary, I think 2 weeks ago, because there was originally gonna be a Flames game like that Saturday that like my whole family was planning on go to. I was like, all right, cool, whatever, right? And then it was literally like that Thursday or Wednesday that the whole Rudy Gobert NBA situation happened. So like I was like on my way home Thursday night. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to that game. It's getting canceled. And sure, next day NHL released a statement. They postponed their season. I was like, cool. So I came home for nothing. I like to see that.
Yeah, no, it's weird going home 3 weeks early, 4 weeks early. Like
Right.
we're supposed to be going home and like I'm supposed to like my last day of classes is April 16th personally, but
Yeah.
like the fact that I'm coming
Well,
home tomorrow would be
no, I
crazy.
thought the thing was like, I can't remember what the exact words were. It was like it's weird because I'm at home, I think I'm on some vacation already. So like I'm just not focused on my work at all. Whereas like I'm like, oh, I got like all these essays and stuff to do and blah 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 blah. So like it's just weird, man. It's just messing everything up. But hopefully it can kind of go like everyone can get under control soonish. You can have a decent summer. We could do even like half the summer. Like as long as I can have like August even, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I don't see this going that long personally. I think it's definitely gonna go for probably a month or two and then be done with. I hope.
Well, clearly we're not in the studio in Lethbridge anymore, so we're doing our part. We're self quarantining, social distancing, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, no, I guess we'll never be in that studio again because with me graduating.
Oh my God! Yo, I didn't even think about that.
I know the rest of these podcasts, we'll have to find a space or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess you'll be back in. Dude, I did not even think about that.
Yeah, my graduation's been so anticlimactic right now. It's like no convocation. Like you didn't even really get to say bye to your friends at all. Like,
have you seen any of the other Prairie Puck Boys?
I've seen Justin and I've seen Josh. I haven't seen Tyler yet because he's in Tabor, so I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
But yeah,
dude,
no.
I wasn't even thinking about that because I mean, obviously, I still got another couple of years left of school, but
yeah. But yeah, Justin's gonna be in High River, so he's pretty close to Calgary. We're hoping Tyler's coming.
Shout out the other Prairie Puck Boys.
Yeah, so the boys are gonna be in Calgary. So if we want to keep this going, if they want to keep this going with their hockey podcast, obviously they can do that. But
yeah,
all up to them. I'm personally gonna keep going.
To be determined, right? Hopefully, half court podcast. Because I think this will be the last one we do until at least the situation kind of progresses a little bit more because, outside of stuff being shut down and that sort of thing, we don't really have too much to talk about, right? So unless they announce that the season's coming back and that sort of thing, then can't really have a whole lot to talk about. But anyway, speaking of the season potentially coming back, we can kind of get back more NBA focused here. When do you see it coming back, and if in what format do you think are we gonna see?
The thing with the NBA that's interesting is like they want to try starting the next season on Christmas, and that's something that they've wanted to do for a long time. So I think the fact that they want to do that will definitely make them the sport that's wanting to come back early and wants to actually progress with their season. I think with like the NHL, it's so unknown because they don't want to interfere with their other season next year.
Yeah.
And I think the NBA wanting to like do this test run of Christmas Day starting the season, I think that'll be super important. I think that's why they'll come back. I'm going to say maybe around August they'll come back. I don't know if they're going to start with the playoffs or play a couple games first, try to.
Yes, that was the question I was actually going to ask you next. I personally think I don't see it being an 82-game season.
No.
Just because I don't see there being enough time. Even if they do want to push the start of next season back to December, I just don't see it happening, A, There's just like a lot of other stuff that happens in the summer that I don't think people would be as interested in the playoffs if it happened like August, September, because obviously the World Series happening then, kind of football season coming back. So I think I personally, if I was in control and I would obviously kind of pick what I wanted to do, I think maybe like 6 or 7 games, not even maybe like 3 tune-up games, just kind of like preseason games. They don't count. Kind of just like teams near the city, so like the Clippers and Lakers could play. Clippers and like the kind of like the division teams could kind of play because they're not that far away.
Yeah.
Maybe like 4 or 5 games of actual regular season, because it would be unfair to go straight for the playoffs because all the teams who are fighting for the 8th seed in the West, like Grizzlies, Pelicans, Trailblazers, like they wouldn't have a chance even. So even just like a couple games to like figure out exactly, they know exactly like, all right, we got 4 games if we run the table, we're in the playoffs, like that sort of thing, to kind of that and then straight into the playoffs. I think that's the best way to do it.
Well, for me, each team's played around 65 to 67 games-ish. I think if they just take every team to 72 games even, that would work too. Just kind of taking them all there. And then obviously, like in the West, I think it's pretty close come standings with the 8th seed and stuff like that.
Yeah, like I think the East is pretty much set.
Yeah. Well, right now the Wizards are the 9th seed, so I don't think they're making the playoffs.
But especially for and the one thing I saw, I can't remember who said it on Twitter, but it was like, so what happens if, I don't know, the season doesn't come back for a couple months, and like guys who are injured, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like guys who would have been injured for the playoffs come back and they're healthy, like what happens then,
Well, could you imagine if the Warriors were like in a playoff spot right now, like Klay Thompson?
Well, that was gonna be the example I was gonna say. Like you get Klay back, but obviously they're not gonna be in it. But hypothetically, if they were kind of in that running.
Well, if you think about it, like with this break, you're giving like 2, 3, 4, maybe like a couple months of break for these playoffs. Like they're gonna be fresh come playoff time. It's gonna be an insane playoffs, honestly. Like,
they're either going to be literally the best playoffs we've ever seen,
or the most sluggish,
or the worst.
Yeah.
Or the worst. Like they're not going to be like decent. Like it's either going to be like, this is like the best basketball I've ever seen, or they should have just canceled the season because this is like watching like high school games.
Well, it's like it depends on how like responsible these athletes are, right? Like if you obviously, for example, us, like if we eat a bunch of junk food and shit like that, like I don't think we'd be able to go on an NBA court. Like, if they do that, then I don't know how good they'll be. But, like...
Well, and the other thing is, like, for guys who are, I don't know, example being, like Zion, I guess we'll use him. Is like, for guys like LeBron and, like, the guys who've been in the league for a long time and who've made a lot of money, like, they probably got their own court in their house. Like, they're probably got, like, obviously, like, servants and butlers and who knows what to help them, so they're probably going to be fine. It's going to be the guys who don't are going to be on like smaller contracts, rookies, like that sort of thing. Because like I think Donovan Mitchell would be a good example, right? He probably doesn't have a freaking basketball court in his house, so if he's in quarantine for 2 weeks, he's not playing basketball for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
and that's probably not something he's done for a very, very long time.
Well, let's just hope that Joel Embiid's bad habits for eating doesn't turn him into the next Glenn Big Baby Davis.
Yeah.
Hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah. But
yeah, no, like
sorry, continue.
Like players like Jokic, for example, who had a bad eating habit and they just got back into game shape and he was playing very well. Like, does he go back to those habits?
Yeah, he literally played himself back into shape because at the start of the season he did not look very good.
No, but if you look at his picture in NBA 2K right now, dude's looking a little chubby. He's
a little thick. Maybe not with 2 C's, but like a C&a-half.
No offense.
A little chunky.
We love you. You're a great playmaker.
No, but I mean, we'll have to see. I guess I'm hoping because I think if they do, and I think that's the thing that is going to make those kind of tune-up games so important. Is just so guys can kind of get back in the rhythm of like playing games before the playoffs start. Because if like the next game they play is like game 1 in the playoffs, these guys are going to be rusty. They're going to be even the guys who try and take good care of themselves, they're not going to be in game shape. They're going to be a little sluggish and not used to playing a full 48 minutes of basketball. So I think it'll kind of depend how they set things up. And again, like we said, like even if it's only a couple games, just even if they don't count, as long as they're just like preseason games don't really matter. So as long as there's like something like that, just to get the guys kind of back kind of into the rhythm of things, then I think the playoffs are going to be really good. But if they don't do that, then they're just going to be, you know.
I just want to say shout out to the Oklahoma City Thunder for actually making the playoffs if the playoffs start today. Very good season for a team that wasn't really supposed to make it, but made it anyway, and the Grizzlies as well.
They're big underdogs.
I'm just excited to see Ja try to dunk on everybody again. Like, watching him try to dunk on...
One of these days he's going to end somebody's career. Like, he tried it with Kevin Love, tried it with Anthony Davis. Eventually it's just going to be like, all right, well, he's going to make a dunk and the guy's just going to have to walk off the court and retire. Like, there's just going to be no other option.
Well, it's going to be like Vince Carter against that French guy. You just get a dunk over somebody.
Yeah.
You're just going to be like, oh, all right, well, he's done for.
It'd be ridiculous.
I'm kind of hoping that it's like a really crappy center, though, just because, like, then you could just fall out of the league. Like Cristiano Felicio or something.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you know, just for the recording, if you go to the top right in full screen mode, if you hit the grid view or gallery view, it might be better for the recording.
Yeah, no, I have both our faces here.
Oh, perfect. I
Yeah.
really changed it to that. So.
Sad, best sad. And then I'm going to throw like an NBA court behind us or something to take away the black space.
All right, that works. But the one other thing, kind of moving a little bit away from that sort of thing, but not really, are those like hashtag NBA Together Live games they've been doing. So I'm thinking if you're down, there's been I think 6 of them so far. I'll be honest, I haven't seen every single one of them, but we could kind of just want to talk about each game and kind of if you watch it live, if you didn't watch it live, if it was a cool game for you or that sort of thing, kind of run them down.
Yeah, you might as well go through all of them. Even if I didn't watch it the other day, I'm probably gonna have some sort of recognition of the game. So let's see how that goes.
Ben, before you even do that, I'm sorry to interrupt you there a little bit, but I think that's I think it's a really cool idea. Obviously, there's League Pass free in case people didn't know. If you want to watch any game, I think up until 2011 or something, 2012 the season, minus playoffs, you can just go and watch it for free now. You don't have to pay for it, which is a super cool idea because, you know.
It sucks for us because we spent $140.
Yeah, we spent like, I think it's more than that. I think it's like 140.
Yeah, we spent 70 each or something.
Damn. But, yeah, it's cool for people who didn't do that or just kind of enjoy watching basketball. But anyways, yeah, moving on from that. First game, one of the craziest games I've ever personally seen live. It was 2013
Yes.
finals, game 6. Everyone just knows it was the game Ray Allen hit that shot to save LeBron's career, I guess, save his legacy. Did you watch that one? How many of them have you seen, by the way?
I've been having a lot of work to do for school and stuff, so I haven't seen a lot of them. But like I remember a lot of it, but I did watch. I watched the Ray Allen shot for sure. I made sure to tune in for that overtime, Bosch block and stuff like that.
Yeah, because it was that one. Then the next game was the Damian Lillard buzzer beater against the Rockets, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Then it was. Ooh, I'm blanking. I literally just had it. I know the one after that was Derrick Rose's 50 bomb. Oh, the third one was Kawhi's shot against the Sixers.
Yeah.
That was the third one. Then it was Derrick Rose's 50 bomb. Then it was the Steve Nash, Jason Kidd double overtime duel last night, and I think tonight. I missed tonight.
Oh yeah, there was also the OKC Thunder versus Steph Curry game where he hit that half court shot.
That was the third one. Yeah, that was the third one.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of great basketball.
Which one's been your favorite?
Honestly, I watched that the Trailblazers Rockets game, and that game was insane for me to watch. I think Aldridge versus Dwight Howard was kind of amazing to watch. Just watching prime prime Dwight Howard, man, you just miss him.
Scary.
He was so good. It was ridiculous to watch, and just to
Well,
see him.
Houston Dwight was like, I would still consider that to be his prime, but I was like the later end of it. That wasn't even like a tip top.
And he was still making insane shots too. It was like
the one game I'm hoping they show is I think it was game 5 or 6 of the 2009 NBA Finals, like Kobe's Lakers against the like Magic, like the closeout game for the Lakers. That'd be fun. Game 7 of the 2010 Finals would be a really good one as well.
Surprised they haven't showed Jordan. Surprised they haven't showed the Jordan over Elo shot yet. Like,
yeah, obviously the 2016 Game 7. I think they're gonna hold that one until later though. I think that's gonna be one they're kind of holding in their back pocket for a little bit.
Obviously, any of the games from the Golden State Warriors Cavs final, any of them.
Yeah, something 2016. Yeah. You could show the entire thing for a week straight, and people would be absolutely enthralled with it.
You could show.
What other ones? Kobe's 60-point game.
Yeah, that one's
final
good.
game of his career.
Michael Jordan's flu game probably would be pretty good to show.
Yeah. Because all the ones they've shown so far have been in the past like 15-ish years. So I'm not sure if they want to go that far back, but if they do, like you can open up a whole vault of Jordan games that you could watch.
I think it'd be cool if they did the Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. I don't know if that game was telecasted, but like that'd be really
I don't
cool.
think it is.
That'd be super cool to watch though, just watching. I personally never watched Wilt Chamberlain play, but I think that'd be super cool.
The one game I was actually thinking yesterday or 2 days ago that would be cool. It's like kind of like a not game that like immediately comes to your mind for like all-time games. The 2017 season, I believe it was. It was the game that Russell Westbrook broke Oscar Robertson's record for most double doubles, and then like super deep 3 at the end. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, against the Nuggets.
It was like bright orange unis.
Yeah,
that'd be a fun one to watch. It'd be kind of in like the same vein as the Derrick Rose 50 piece.
Yeah,
it's not like it wasn't a super meaningful game. It was just super fun to watch.
You know what they should show? They should show the Terrence Ross 2014 51-point game against the Clippers. Hell yeah, dude. No.
Dude, honestly, Chris Bosh Raptor game would probably be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, which game was it? Oh crap! They could definitely show Game 7 between the Raptors and Nets that one year with the block for Pierce.
Yeah,
that's a nice game too.
Reopen a little bit of a wound for you, but
honestly, I like that game. Like I personally love Joe Johnson. I love his game, his ISO Joe. Yeah, I think that watching him play is absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, that game ended with Lowry like shooting like a floater and Paul Pierce blocked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then him saying,
"Yeah, man, they gotta." Ideally, hopefully, this thing doesn't last too much longer, and we can kind of get back to games in like the next like month or two. But if not, they got a vault of great games they can show.
Oh yeah.
Plus, I think this is a really fun idea because, like the Derrick Rose game, you can just go and watch it on League Pass whenever you want. But knowing that there's like thousands of other people who are like watching it like at the same time as you and like live, I guess, it kind of brings like the same thing, like the same feeling back as like watching an actual game live.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Another game a couple other games that'd be cool to watch would be Devin Booker's 70-point game would be cool, and obviously Kobe's 81 against the Raptors would be nice.
Obviously.
I
was just trying to think of some like more like obscure games though, right? Like games like don't like immediately like pop into your head. Like that's what I was like thinking, like that Russell Westbrook game.
T-Max 16 points in 1 minute or whatever.
Yeah. You could probably find a good Vince Carter game. Can't think of one off the top of my head, but like back when he was with Toronto.
You know, it'd be cool if they did the dunk contest duel with Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine. Just replay that dunk contest.
That'd be kind of sick, actually.
Hashtag let Gordon
on like
win
a Saturday or something.
Yeah, just like let Aaron Gordon win a dunk contest, please.
For real. But and I saw this NBA was also talking about potentially, like kind of once things sort of start to reopen a little bit, having like a charity game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, like, I just want any sort of basketball at this point. Like man's just bored at his crib, got nothing to do.
Yeah, no, I never thought that sports games would get so boring so fast for me. Like, I've been playing, and it just gets so boring so fast.
Yeah.
Like, the other day.
I've currently made it my mission on NBA 2K to rebuild all 30 NBA teams on my league in 2K.
Hold on, and you're not recording it for the channel? No.
Imagine that, though.
Just start posting.
King of the third quarter.
I mean, technically, we just throw it up on PPP, we become a gaming channel too.
A gaming and podcast channel. Hey, yo, comment if you want that.
Well, all I'm saying is, like, sports podcasts, as long as you do sports-related stuff, we can technically do whatever we want.
And there's also, like, 2 people that watch our podcast. One of them being my parents. So, like, you know, we don't have the biggest fan base at the moment.
Yeah, it's an awkward moment when we have 22 subs and not even 22 people watch the podcast.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's a shame.
Well, you just got to keep doing them, and then eventually you'll get some sort of following.
True. One other thing I've actually been doing in self-isolation and quarantine. Got this, like, magazine. Of, like, just, like, a bunch of, like, old, like LA Times newspaper articles about him and stuff. It's, like, going back all the way to when he was, like, in high school, all the way through his career and everything.
Actually, really cool.
My boy Kobe.
Still trying to think of games they can show. God dang it.
You'd think it'd be a lot easier to do than it actually is, but apparently not.
Mavs versus Heat 2011, any of those games? Game 6?
Yeah. Did they really want to show their, like, the best player in their league history choking that hard, though?
Yeah. It's an underdog story.
True.
Jason Kidd finally winning his championship.
What else could you show?
Game 7, 2001 or 2 between the Blazers and the Lakers. Scottie Pippen on the Trailblazers.
Yeah. You could show, again, I don't know what game you would show, but, like, the that season with the Lakers had, like, Gary Payton, like, Karl Malone, and all those guys.
I think that was
a weird.
I think that was the year after the three-peat.
Yeah, it was.
I think they
still had Shaq, too.
And that was the last year of Shaq, and then they traded him to the Heat. And then he won a championship with D-Wade.
Ooh! You could show that game of Kobe against, like, Dwayne Wade at the buzzer. The, like, kind of fading shot against the backboard. That'd be a hell of a game.
They could probably go to that.
Anyways, just kind of wrapping up this topic here so you can kind of move on to the next one here. Yeah, again, great idea, I think. Gives the fans something to watch. Gives us all something to do, something to talk about as we're doing right now. And hopefully, I was hoping they don't pick, like, obviously, like, the games they've shown the past couple days are from, like, the kind of mid-2000s.
Yeah.
Which are good. Like, I don't blame them for, like, any of that. But, like, I hope they just don't pick, like, kind of, like, obscure games, like, super, super obscure games. Because there's been so many, like, games that people are dying to watch again, like that. Like Jordan against the Jazz. Game 7 of the Celtics-Lakers finals. Like, that sort of thing. That people really want to watch. So, but I guess we're not in charge of that. We'll just have to see kind of what they do.
I mean, NBA should hire us, but that's well.
I wish. That's a dream right there. Yeah, moving on to our last topic here. I'm not sure this one might be a little bit of a shorter podcast, but again, don't have too much to talk about. If for whatever reason that the NBA just can't start up again, they got to stop the season right now. Let's do our award winners. So MVP, Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man, Most Improved, Defensive Player of the Year. We can do Coach of the Year, I guess, if you want. But We'll leave the interesting ones for last. We'll start off with Coach of the Year. I'm going with Mike Budenholzer.
I'm going with who's the coach of the Thunder right now? I can't think of the coach's name.
It's not Scott Brooks. Hey Siri, who's the head coach of the OKC Thunder? Billy Donovan.
Is it still Billy Donovan?
Yeah.
I thought he was long gone. That's why I was thinking. I was like, who they replaced Billy Donovan for? So yeah. I'd say Billy Donovan, the way he's coached that team, or the.
I think he's been. Don't get me wrong. I think he's been the better coach, but typically the NBA gives it to one of the best record teams in the league. So obviously with the Bucks being on pace to have one of the best records of all time, you know.
Could also go
and because he's done it in terms of star power, obviously Giannis is a great player, and Chris Middleton's a really really good player too. They're not super star heavy.
No, they're not.
They're a really really deep team. I think that also has to do with Mike Budenholzer kind of knowing what his guys are good at or what they're not, kind of putting them in a position to succeed. So you got to give a lot of credit to him for how this Bucks team has done over the year.
I think you also got to do a shout out to Eric Spoelstra too. I think he's done a very good job with that Heat team, transforming Bam into the player he's been. And
not only that, but just the what he's done with the rookies.
Yeah,
with Kendrick Nunn and Tyler Hero,
and Duncan Robinson too.
Yeah.
You could also say Nick Nurse too, kind of a home.
To be in that discussion. As much as he probably doesn't deserve it, Frank Vogel will probably get some votes. I do think he's a good coach, but I mean when you have LeBron and AD on a team together, it's not super hard to kind of figure out something that'll work.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing with Doc Rivers, right? He's obviously their team's doing well, but when you have such a deep team,
you can't really give it to him, yeah. But, all right, moving on to most improved. As you mentioned before, I'm going with Bam.
Yeah, I'm thinking Bam too. There's only other person I would think of is Brandon Ingram too. I think Brandon Ingram has done a very good job of going from is he going to be an all-star to an all-star? He went from, I think, 18 points a game to 25. That's a huge jump. But I think
so the only reason I don't say Ingram, because I think we might have talked about this, we might have talked about the same conversation earlier in the season in another podcast.
Yeah.
The only reason, because I think I went with Brandon Ingram then. The only reason I don't go with him now is since Zion came back. He was still doing his thing, but he kind of had to take a little bit of a step back, whereas Bam's just been super consistent all the way through the year. You can honestly give some votes to Sabonis as well.
Yeah, Sabonis has been great this season too.
Yeah. Get off your phone so we're live.
Sorry, I'm just looking at stats. Sorry, I was honestly looking at your stats.
Yeah, no, I'd say I think it'll be either Ingram or Bam. I couldn't really pick between the two. The only reason I said give it to Bam is because Ingram wasn't able to be that number one option for the whole season.
Or you could even look at Devontae Graham too. He's kind of fallen off, and his shooting numbers are not that good.
Yeah, kind of. If it was the first half of the season award, he would definitely be in the running. But his efficiency is just kind of
been 40%, 40% from the field or something.
Yeah,
40% from the field and 44 or 43 or something percent from three. It's just what?
Yeah. What else? What's the next most boring award?
Six man.
You just give it to Lou Will again?
No, I would say Dennis Schroeder. I think he's been really good for the Thunder so far this year. He's averaging 19 points a game, and he's come off the bench and been a great leader for that team off the bench. And especially if you're backing up a player like Shea, who's also in the running for most improved as well, being able to be that leader off the bench and that spark plug is just something that always gets put into place for six man, and I think that's why he's going to get it.
I think another guy, I just kind of jokingly mentioned Lou Will there again, is Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, he's been fantastic this year.
I mean, for a 6'7" center, he's pretty damn good.
Well, the thing about Montrezl thing about Montrez is that he should be starting over Zubac, in my
Oh,
opinion.
100%.
But the fact that they are doing what they're doing with Lou Will, like both those players could easily start for this team. But the fact that they have him coming off the bench just shows how deep that team is.
Yeah, they're scary. And especially having like Morris and didn't they sign Joakim Noah? Wasn't that a thing that happened?
Yes, they did.
So they're literally just making a team of people who hate LeBron, more or less.
Probably Reggie Jackson, who I'm sure is pretty pissed off about the years.
Yeah, they're just like they're making a team of every single person who hates LeBron.
Surprised they didn't trade for DeMar.
Talk about 6 man, or with Matt, not 6 man, defensive player of the year.
Yeah, sure. My 6th man of the year. Oh, I've been thinking about this like all week because I knew I was going to do a podcast about it eventually.
But the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. Giannis obviously deserves consideration.
Anthony Davis, I would say, is up there too.
Gobert obviously is up there.
Yeah, dude, Gobert's crazy. Shook on the entire league. What else?
It's gonna annoy
I actually
me.
don't know. I'm with you right now. I'm kind of blanking.
I'm thinking about it all week too. Like that's the thing. God damn it. Whatever. It'll come to me eventually. I'll probably blurt it out while I'm talking about this stuff.
Well, I was talking about like 10 minutes or something. Yeah, no. So considering I don't really know, I'm gonna say Anthony Davis just because, like, you know, bit of a hometowner, as you can see. But yeah. All right, moving on to the second most interesting one. Well, not really, because I think it's kind of a runaway. Rookie of the year. Clearly going to Matisse Thybulle. It's just an absolutely.
I do like Matisse Thybulle though.
He's been kind of. Have you seen his TikToks he's been doing in quarantine?
This is hilarious.
Hilarious. I love it. Yeah, no, I'd definitely go Josh.
Yeah, no, I think it's. Can't really say it's Zion at this point. He hasn't played enough games.
Well, not only did he come back way too late, but even if the NBA hadn't been canceled right now and he would have been able to finish the season, I still think that's way too less games. So now that we know the season's gonna be even cut shorter, there's no way.
Yeah,
John's got that thing on lock.
If somehow Zion wins, it's a popularity contest. I don't even care.
It's rigged. That's what it's rigged. I know it's a popularity contest because there's just no way. And lastly, MVP. I think we're pretty consensus that's going to be Giannis.
Yeah.
The question I have for you is, where do you think LeBron, like, what placement do you think LeBron is going to end up at, or what would end up at if the season is over right now?
Honestly, my order right now, top 5, is Giannis, LeBron, Luka, Anthony Davis, and then Kawhi probably.
It's nice having 2 top 5 MVP candidates on my team. It's a good time right now.
Yeah, no, it's probably pretty nice to have 2 all-star, probably first team All-NBA, defensive player of the year, probably an Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
MVP candidate.
Yeah, no, I would say if the season kept going, LeBron would be a little bit higher. But because, I mean, he only kind of really turned it on in the past, like, month and a half.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he was able to finish out the last 20 games, he might have potentially been able to sneak over Giannis. But again, it's the same sort of situation with John Zion. Just not sure if he would have had enough time.
Somebody who should be considered in MVP voting, but probably won't, is Chris Paul. I think the way he's played for the Thunder has been absolutely spectacular.
Bro, you're all over the Thunder bandwagon right now.
Dude, I am. Dude, they've been
you hopped on that thing.
I didn't hop on the bandwagon as much as I hopped on the Chris Paul is still really good bandwagon.
Yeah, true.
Like, he was kind of overshadowed by James Harden. Now the fact that he's been able to do what he's been able to do.
The problem he had with Houston is just he didn't fit into the system they're trying to run.
Oh God, no! Like,
he wasn't able to do what he needed to do to make it seem good. So,
well, I think James Harden's kind of not the type of person you want to run your offense with another superstar. I think that kind of showed with Westbrook, and now Westbrook's kind of taking the ball away from Harden now. I think that's
Harden's low-key become the second option on that team, and I find that hilarious.
always take second fiddle to Westbrook, man. Back when he was in OKC, now.
But he was like the fourth option on that Thunder team.
Yeah, Serge Ibaka was
He
an
was gonna be
option.
like KD, Russ. I would say Serge Ibaka might even been higher than him, and then James Harden.
Dude, I bet you Nick Collison is a freaking higher option than them on that team.
Seriously.
Nick Collison.
I don't know. With all that being said, you got anything else to add? Anything?
I'm trying to put out 8 podcasts by April 15th, so look out for that. I'm
On
gonna
this
be.
channel?
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of me probably these next couple weeks here.
Probably see a couple of me. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get guests on this as well. Try to talk to as many people as possible. Like even this is the best time to get athletes to do it. Honestly, like just email a bunch of athletes and maybe one of them will do it.
Just spam them. Just like spam them and be like, "Yo, bro." Like.
But yeah, I'm gonna try and do as many podcasts as possible. So stay tuned for that. I guess ring that notification bell. I guess this is the first time I've been kind of plugging it in that way.
Smash that like button, everybody.
Just subscribe to the channel. Let's get it.
It's like, welcome back, gamers.
Welcome back. I'm also streaming on Twitch later. No.
All right, well, until next time, pray the NBA season comes back.
Yeah, we will see you guys all later. And how do I stop recording?
Bang, bang.